Hi, everybody. I'm Zilla Blitz, and welcome to our 2022 September channel update. Now, if you're new to the channel, and that might actually be a good place to start, welcome to the new subscribers that have joined over the month of August, the end of July, and the early part of September here. There's been a good number of new subscribers that have found the channel in the past month. Welcome aboard. And if you're not familiar with this episode, this is a monthly episode where we kind of take about 10 or 15 minutes and look at some of the kind of geeky numbers behind the channel, and then talk a little bit about what's gone on, talk a little bit about what the plans are for the upcoming month, set some goals, just a kind of couple quick goals, and then sometimes I'll just ramble on a little bit about an idea that's kind of bouncing around in my head. And I have one for this month that I'd like to talk about towards the end of the episode as well. With that in mind, let's jump right in and take a look at some of the numbers for August compared to July. And I don't think there's any other way to put this. It was a good month. Okay, so July had 53,000 views, and August had 140,000 views, which is almost 3 times as much as a channel's ever had before. So things kind of went crazy in August. It was a different month compared to some of the months before. I mean, I remember back to the months where I'd be like, wow, it got like 500 views. And I was super happy with that. And so like this number is beyond imaginable for me. Likewise with hours watched, 6,000 hours watched was July, and August was 17,000. So again, like 3 times as much as before, which is, yeah, it's, like pinch me, I'm kind of dreaming kind of stuff. It's like, what's going on? We ended July with 3,741 subscribers, and we ended August with 5,734 subscribers, so 1,993. So it's like a third of the subscribers at the channel now have joined in the last month or so, which is, I was looking it up actually. It took 11 months to get to 100 subscribers, and it took 1 year and 5 months to get to 300 subscribers. So like there were days where I would look and like there were weeks where I would click on that and like the subscriber number just never changed. So welcome aboard again to all the new people. Thank you so much for clicking on the subscription button, and I hope you enjoy your stay here, and hope you enjoy the content, of course. And it's really appreciated. It was a fun month. Obviously, it was a really, really cool month. Videos produced, we did slip. July had 18 videos produced. August had 16 videos produced, and one of our 3 goals for August was to make 30 videos, so kind of only hit that halfway mark. But both of our kids were home from college in the month of August for a lot of the time, and so we were really doing a lot of family stuff, and I really kind of wanted to prioritize that. So although I didn't hit the 30 videos, I felt like I did the right thing, had a lot of fun, and we really like spending time together. And because they're both in college now and away from home, and we don't often get a ton of time to spend together. So I really wanted to kind of prioritize that, and that was the right thing to do. Now they are both back at school though, so maybe this September will have an uptick in videos produced. I'm thinking that might be able to kind of happen here. So there's the numbers and what's gone on at the channel. Well, a bunch of stuff, kind of a blend again of, and this is one thing I want to talk about too, is the thought comes up towards the end. I got a lot of kind of cool, I think, of fun videos to make in tabletop wargaming. So did a Halls of Hegra, which is upcoming. Kickstarter just finished for them, for a Norwegian game about kind of you're defending a fortress, and that was fun to play and get a look at that prototype. Lanzerath Ridge is in, did an unboxing for that, and that will be one of our upcoming series. We'll talk about that shortly towards kind of things for this month. I took a deep look at Fire on the Mountain, Legion Wargames game of the Civil War Battle of Stone Mountain, Battle of South Mountain. Not Stone Mountain, Battle of South Mountain there. That was really fun to do. And then the last week or so, a little bit longer, have been playing Save South Vietnam, which I'm really excited about. I want to talk a little bit about that one too as we go forward there. American Truck, for our driving simulation videos, American Truck Simulator did a bunch of episodes in Montana. ETS only did one because I really wanted to concentrate on Montana. And then I wasn't able to play SnowRunner. I thought I was going to do a video for SnowRunner last week, but I came back to the game and I hadn't played for 4 weeks and I was terrible. So I have to go back into our non-hard mode save and kind of get used to driving a little bit, because I lost my sense of the mud and I was flipping stuff over in the regular mode, not the hard mode save. So that's coming, but it's going to take a little while to get kind of any sense of driving back. Failure part was PC strategy games. I want to kind of make that another focus and kind of have been kind of building up a PC strategy game, focusing on the channel, but didn't really make much progress in that in August. I want to kind of refocus on that coming up in September, which comes to... what are the goals for September? Well, I want to finish Save Self Vietnam. And one of the things, so I want to talk a little bit about Save Self Vietnam because I'm super excited about this series and the game. First of all, the game has been really fun. I think feedback on the game's been really fun. And the thing that I'm excited about, because this is a question that I've had for the longest time, right, is that longer games, and I'm going to apply this to PC strategy games, and I'm going to apply this to tabletop war games too. Longer games are really hard to make series for because they get really long, right? Generally, if 20 minutes, say 30 minutes of gameplay equals about an hour-long video, because you just do a lot more explaining in the video and stuff like that. So if a tabletop war game or say a PC strategy game takes 10 hours, that's probably going to be around 20 hours worth of video footage. And even at a half an hour an episode, which is kind of what I like to keep it at, that's like 40 episodes. That's way too long. It's too long for people's attention span, and it just doesn't have kind of the pace. And that would be the one thing I could make for like 2 months, right? If I made a video like that. So I've been thinking about how to do them in like after action report format, where we kind of talk about upcoming goals. I play a little bit off camera. Then I come back in, talk a little bit about what's happened, talk about the goals for the next chunk of play a little bit off camera, and kind of lather, rinse, repeat all the way through the game. And Save South Vietnam is going to be a game that's going to take me about 6 hours to play. So normally in our old format, that would be about 12 hours of video, 24 episodes. But I think it's going to end up being 6 episodes. So about 3 hours total of a series, which is kind of right in that sweet spot that I like. Now, this is a long way to say of everything, but what I'm getting to is I think this really opens up the door for a format to use for longer tabletop war games and longer PC strategy games, like things that I've always been wanting to bring to the channel, like Crusader Kings 3, some other games that have longer series. We think back to like the Panzer Corps series and stuff like that was just turning into 100 videos and things. So I'm pretty excited about this new format. I'd love to hear people's comments on it for people that have seen some of that series too. I know the feedback's been pretty positive on it as well. So looking forward to leaning into this exploration of ideas more going forward. So long story short, that's long story long, really. That was kind of a long and winded explanation. But Save South Vietnam, I want to finish that. There's about 2 more episodes to go in that. Then we're going to do a full playthrough of Lanzerath Ridge. I have a review copy in for that, and we've got 19 volunteers that have signed up to take the place of the real characters in the game. We're going to play through the whole game. My guess is that's probably going to be about 5 or 6 episodes, and so that's going to be fun to do too. Towards the latter part of the month, there's going to be some advanced copies of a few games coming in. And one of the things I want to try to do, a lot of the people that seem to have joined the channel in the past month or so have been people that have put down comments like, I'm kind of new to war games. Do you have some suggestions on what to play? So one of the things I want to try to expand outward into a little bit is kind of these games that sit between the kind of the hardcore war games, and kind of Euro games. So it's kind of, there's a space in between. I'm thinking of things like Undaunted Normandy, Undaunted North Africa. Even the Sherman Leaders series that we did a series on before. It's definitely a war game, right? But it's a game more than it is a simulation in the way that it plays out and stuff like that. So some of the games that are a little bit more accessible that could help people that are new to the wargaming hobby come in there. I'm not going to stop doing the more serious war games too. Definitely want to keep an emphasis on both, but just try to explore that space a little bit more. So that's going to be, I think, something I try to add to the channel. Take a little bit look at some of those kind of gentler war games might be the right way to put it as we kind of go forward. I want to definitely keep up with American Truck Simulator. We have some work to do left in Montana. Euro Truck Simulator 2, we just did episode 99, so episode 100 coming up next month. And then also next month in Euro Truck Simulator, I want to go back down into Germany to do more with the current event that's in Euro Truck Simulator 2. So a lot of driving to do there. And yes, I know there's a couple of people who have been clamoring for SnowRunner episodes. I've not given up. We will get back to SnowRunner. I just need a little bit of time to warm up in the game again. The other goal that I have for, and this is actually one of the goals, because we kind of talk about what are the goals and what were the goals. Let's actually go to that now. But I do want to make some PC strategy game episodes as we get into September as well. So lots of things to do. I'm just as excited as what's the right way to put it? So like when we had kids, right? This is probably a weird analogy, but one of the things that I thought was really cool about having kids is that as they grew up, it kept getting better, right? And I'm not, they're all their ages were good, but I thought like I would enjoy when they were littler more than kind of like when they're in high school and stuff like that. But I think I enjoyed every year, and I felt like it every year because you had this history now behind it. It got better and better and better. It's just more fun. And that's kind of the way doing this channel has felt over the past couple years now, where it feels like every month gets better, and I'm just more excited to keep making stuff and going forward and doing more and making more and building more and all those kinds of things. So so in terms of energy and enthusiasm and where I am and how much focus on the channel and stuff like that, I'm super happy. And so full speed ahead as far as that's concerned. I feel really good. I'm not worried about stuff or anything like that and those kind of things. So all good there. Let's take a quick look at our goals for last month and see how we did. I mentioned one of them, which was to publish 30 episodes, got 16, but that was the right thing to do. I'm perfectly fine with that. The other thing I wanted to create was a rough schedule. And I'm actually happy with how I've resolved that. What I want to do going forward is to create what's called a pipeline. So towards the earlier part of the week, I'm going to publish kind of a rough idea on what the week's episodes are going to be, but not necessarily in a specific order. So I might say something like, we'll be driving around Montana, we'll be playing with mud in Michigan, driving around in some mud in Michigan. We'll be battling the North Vietnamese army in Vietnam, and then we're going to be defending a ridge in Belgium, kind of thing. So, some hints and some ideas as to the episodes that are coming up in the pipeline, but not a set schedule for which day and stuff like that that's going to come out. Because with kind of table access and the house and everything like that, sometimes it's not possible to nail the exact day that I can get something coming out. So that's the rough idea going forward, is to kind of have a future episode pipeline for the week. And I really like how that's worked towards the end of August here. And so that was good. The other thing that I wanted to do was to solve the gap in transitioning from one tabletop wargaming video to the next, because I had mentioned that I would finish a series with one wargaming video, then I'd break out the next one and have to learn the game. So it was creating like a week and a half gap between series. I finally just decided, what the heck, I'm just going to put 2 games on the table and play them side by side and move the camera stuff out of the way. And that's worked really well. So I'm playing Lanzarote Ridge now while I'm shooting Save South Vietnam. So when I get done with the Save South Vietnam series, I think I can just slide Lanzarote Ridge in and just play that one right away. So I've solved that problem. And that brings us to the next thing, which is what will be the 3 channel goals for the month of September. And I think I have some fairly modest ones. For the first time, I'm not going to do an episode number. Usually one of the goals is how many episodes I'd like to produce. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to just do the best I can with the time that I have. I think my rough idea will be 20 or more, but I'm not going to kind of make that as a goal, because I feel like sometimes I have to adjust that depending upon life circumstances and stuff like that. And it's not like I don't want to spend time doing this. It's just that with work, with family, with real life, I don't want that number to create extra pressure. So I'm going to think 20, but I'm not going to set a goal. Just do the best I can, kind of thing. So what are the goals then? You might be asking. First up, I felt like we took a step backwards in August with PC strategy games and PC war games, and I want to refocus on that. So my goal for September is 5 PC wargaming episodes, and I have 3 that I know what I want to do. I want to Attack at Dawn, North Africa, which you looked at about a month and a half ago, has come out with a big update addressing a lot of different things. So I want to dig back into that. I've started playing that again. I want to dig back into that and make an update video on that, because I think that's a tremendously exciting game. And I'm really curious to see more about what they've done. And it's really cool when a developer publishes a game and then comes back to it and kind of keeps working on it and just keeps improving it over time. So I'm excited about that one. I want to play some more Desert Rats too. I did one video on that earlier. I want to make another one on that, and then have a review copy of a very interesting game called Destiny of the World. And I started playing that last night. I want to do an overview video of that too, plus a couple others as we go through, maybe more. Second goal is And I've had this one before, but I want to make 3 tutorial videos. A bunch of people have asked questions about like the truck simulator episodes, some people about wargaming and stuff like that. And I feel like it would be really good to have a habit of getting into those kind of tutorial videos. So my goal is to make 3. I'm thinking 1 wargaming tutorial video idea that I have, and then 2 for American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator tutorial kinds of things. The last thing is something that's been on my to-do list for the longest time. And I feel like now that we have, like crossed the 5,000 subscriber mark, I probably should do this. To make a channel trailer video. It's that little video when you click on a channel, it kind of tells you what the channel is about. I don't have one. I've never had one. And it's been on I have a Trello board of things that I want to do for the channel. It's been on my Trello board for like a year and a half now. It's like, I got to do that. It's not going to take that much work, right? It's like a 2-minute video at most, but I just haven't done it. So channel trailer, watch for it sometime in September. And speaking of channel trailer, this is somewhat related, is my thought for the month. And I'm curious to hear what people think about this. So I've been pondering a little bit. And I think I know what I want to do right now, but I'm very curious to hear, especially new subscribers. If you're a new subscriber to the channel, I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts on this. So, and it comes from a comment. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but it comes from a comment that someone put on the channel at the end of the last monthly update, wondering about the mix between like driving simulation videos on the channel and tabletop war games and PC strategy games. And the channel also has a component that I don't want to give up. I just have taken away from, which is like football manager and sports simulation management games. And my general thinking is that the channel has been about games that make people think. And I realize that trucking simulator videos don't really fit into that. They're more kind of like relax, chill type of experiences. But for whatever reason, I really like playing them. And so they're there and people seem to enjoy them. But here's the thing I've been thinking about. If you got truck simulation videos, tabletop wargaming, PC strategy gaming, those have some overlap, but in particular between like the trucking videos and the SnowRunner episodes and the tabletop wargaming episodes, they're very different genres of videos, right? And I know there's a good number of people that watch all of the videos because I read people's comments, I answer comments and all that kind of stuff, and I'm really curious what people think about the videos and stuff, and I love interacting with people when they put down comments. And so I know there's a lot of people that watch both, but I also assume there's a lot of people that only watch one type or the other. Like maybe you watch the tabletop wargaming or strategy gaming videos, but you don't watch the trucking videos, and maybe vice versa. You watch the trucking stuff, but you really don't care about tabletop wargaming. So the question I'm wondering is, someone mentioned, would it make sense to split into 2 channels? So one is kind of strategy games, kind of things like that, and the other one would be simulation, kind of driving simulation types of things. And I've been thinking about it a couple ways. One is that I wonder, like if you're a viewer out there and you are here, if you're here for both types, it probably makes sense to have it together. But like say you like the trucking videos and you see a video come up for tabletop wargaming, does that annoy you? And you're like, and then like unsubscribe. I suppose if it did really annoy you and you unsubscribed, you're probably not watching this video, right? So it's kind of a little bit of survivor bias here. Or likewise, if you like the tabletop wargaming videos or strategy gaming videos, but you don't like the trucking videos, do those annoy you? Or do you just kind of go, oh, well, that's just a trucking video and I won't watch it? And I wonder, I've been thinking and wondering, but I would love to hear from viewers what you think about that. Does it bother you? Is it like, oh, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I think knowing how like I watch YouTube, so there's a number of YouTubers that I watch, and I realize that I'm not going to like every game they play or every video they make. And so when I see a channel that the person is doing something that I'm not interested in, I just go like, oh, well, okay. As long as I'm getting enough videos of the things I'm interested in, I don't really care, because I just look at it and say, oh, they're just playing something that I'm not really interested in watching right now. So I will just wait for the stuff I'm interested to come by. Again, it doesn't make me want to unsubscribe. It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't annoy me. I mean, it shows up on my screen. I'm like, oh, well, they're doing that. I'm not going to watch it. But eventually the channel kind of figures it out. So I'm curious for people, especially that are new to the channel, for people that have been around for a while and stuff like that, how does it feel to have a channel that's kind of hybrid? Is that annoying? Like, would you prefer they'd be split? And I know sometimes if it's split, sometimes that can make it harder, especially for the people that watch both types. And it makes it harder to run and maintain. You're building basically two channels. You'd have to start all over with the second one and kinds of things like that. So, I've been leaning towards keeping it together into one channel because the format seems to be working. But I am very curious to hear, as a viewer, how that feels on the receiving end when you might get 40% of the videos or something that you're just not interested in watching. Let me know down below. I would love to hear from you as we go there. And I think, and last but not least, a shout out to our new two Patreons. Yes, Nick is a new Patreon and John Cameron has joined. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. And here are our we now have double-digit Patreon supporters. I'm so excited. Thank you, everybody. I did get new, I wasn't happy with the sound I was getting with the remote microphones. So the Patreon support this month went partway to paying for a new set of wireless mics. I got Rode mics instead of the ones that I were using. I'm playing with them now and tweaking the sound. I think I'm going to be much happier with the quality of sound I can get on those wireless mics. So that's where the Patreon support this month has gone to pay for part of those. So thank you so much for that. If you would like to join a Patreon, there's a link. Join the Patreon. There's a link down below. Patreons, I do put posts in there pretty much on like a weekly, bi-weekly basis. And then you get first dibs for volunteers in series coming up too, if that's of interest to you, plus other things that go in there as well now and then. But thank you as well for our new Patreons, and welcome aboard, everybody. I think that brings us to the end of this one. Love to hear your comments down below. We'll be back in another month. I'm pretty sure this next month is not going to be like the previous month because we had one really good video that got a ton of views. And that was kind of like a home run video. So I think probably more likely to have a singles month this week. So I'm expecting that perhaps numbers will stabilize or go down a little bit, which is fine. It's not about the numbers. I'm having a great time. Thank you all for the support and stuff like that. I mean, it was definitely a fun month. And if it keeps growing, it keeps growing. But super happy just to be on the journey here. Take care, everybody. We'll see you another month.